you are more willing to go by what I say because you have faith and trust in me that I am making the best decision for us
for
because
the
I
situation.
right because I have a history of doing good and doing right by you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life After I Do. I'm your host, Nisha G, and I'm here with my lovely, sexy husband,
The one,
the only.
my little.
Woo!
You wild for that.
Yes.
You are wild for that. You are wild.
I've always wanted to press that.
Oh, but we've had the button for a while.
I know, but I just never pressed it. I just wanted to press it.
Okay.
How are
But
you?
when I press them gunshots, you don't like that?
No, because you see that you go like
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Sorry, I just got distracted. I got a text message and it had my daughter's name in it, so I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the school or somebody? But anyway, how's it going, babe?
It's going, Booskies. How's your day?
It's going. Come here. You got something in your beard.
Is it you?
No,
How's you?
it's breakfast.
Oh, you could have had you.
Demille, we're not doing that this morning. We're
Ah.
not doing that this morning. How's your morning going?
It's going. I'm just a little befuddled,
No,
bewildered.
are you trying to use the word that I said I was going to use?
No,
What?
I'm just a little befuddled
B-
because I don't understand how.
befiddled? I said I was going to use instead of I was going to say befiddled. That's going to be my new word. I am befiddled with the way the world is going today.
Because I don't understand how we literally just went to go pick up a body wash and deodorant,
I knew you were going to say that.
and I think we got her a belt and I
It
don't
was a 2-pack.
a 2-pack belt, but we got mostly hygiene products and like body wash,
And we
lotion, and
got
stuff.
vitamins. Pack of
And
vitamins.
and the lady had the nerve to look me in my face and
And
say
say your total this morning is
174.
174. So we go to Target. We dropped the baby off at school today. And he was like, oh, well, we might as well go get all of the hygiene stuff, while we're out. And I was like, okay. So we got body wash. I got my deodorant and stuff. He got deodorant
You got
stuff. We
razors?
got razors. Got Phoenix a
All,
deodorant.
all I got was body wash, face wash, and deodorant.
Okay, you got body wash, face wash, deodorant. I got my deodorants. I got razors. I got Nair for my eyebrows. I got her deodorant. We got her body wash. And then we got what else did we get? Oh, and we bought a $25 juicer because I want to try this juicer out. But it was $25, so it wasn't even like a big high-end juicer.
But she had the
But
audacity.
we got Phoenix's vitamins. So he puts everything on the conveyor belt.
It was like 10
And he's
items.
like, it was more. He goes, this is probably $100 like that. He was like, this is probably $100 right here. And I looked at him and I was like, oh no, baby, that's gonna be more than $100. I could tell you it was gonna be more than $100 simply based on the deodorants and the freaking vitamins. Just one pack of her vitamins is $22.
I- what
Just
I-
one pack.
but I-
And it only has like the little 2 packs in there. Her DHA is $22, and the body wash itself was like almost $16. So I knew it was going to be more than $100.
What I figured out today, people, is that I will be living the rest of my life stinky.
We can start making our own deodorant.
You know what it is? I'm gonna just have to take the cancer.
Bye.
Because-
No. Goodbye. Goodbye.
She had the audacity. She
the
looked me-
audacity,
the
baby.
audacity.
You act like she's the one who set the prices at Target.
She looked me in my eye and said, "Sir,
Your total
your-
today is 174." And
and
he
some change."
he legit looked at her like she's the one who went out there and set the prices this morning.
I looked
Like
at-
he looked at her like, and she was looking at him like, are you gonna pay it or are you
I
not?
look- I
Like
looked
you're
at-
more than welcome to put the shit back, sir.
when I looked at her, I was just looking at her because my inside verse said, "Bitch."
Still not her fault. She did
What
not
are
put
you
those
talking
prices
about?
up there today. She did not put those prices up there.
I see why people stealing.
But see, and it's also that, and that's what also drives the prices to go up more too.
Well, I'm gonna be stealing too, because
No.
Yeah.
No, you're not. I know the
Imma wait till the body wash get under half, and then Imma take it back to her and say, "I had an allergic reaction." I ain't
g
ref I ain't refund.
but you know what's terrible is
People do
that
that,
people do that.
and I'm finna join the
That's
group.
that's not that's like that's
Look
a
here,
thing.
in 2024, you gotta have a job, a side hustle, and a
And do a
scam.
little crime. You gotta have your full-time job, your part-time hustle,
Uh,
and then you gotta have a side scam.
I also wanna say, this is a side note, I also wanna say that you're looking very beautiful,
Thank you,
and
honey.
your lips looks very classy,
Thank
very
thank
demure.
very mindful, very cutesy. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you said that. But thank you.
Very demure.
Very demure.
Demure.
Demira.
Demure.
Thank you. I prefer that. Very demura.
Demure.
Thank you. That was my goal to look demura today.
'Cause if it ain't Demira, it ain't me.
It ain't you. Very, yeah. But don't be befiddled around here.
How was your week, babe?
My week was okay. My week was okay. Just,
Nothing exciting?
nothing too exciting. Just the same old, being a mom, doing mom-ish. Finna make me a shirt that says that. Doing mom-ish. Yeah, that's
Were you
it.
doing it great or just average this week?
I know, you know what? Yesterday, I feel like I did a great job.
Yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, what I had to go through with homework
Oh, well, homework. Oh,
yesterday. What you
I was, I was like,
excuse excuse the hell out of me.
because I was say, I was gonna say yesterday we was in the bed till 1:30. So what did you do so great? The
Sir.
whole house was on chill.
Sir.
The entire house was on chill. The entire house was like,
My mom called her and she was like, "Fee," oh no, when your sister was talking to her, and she was like, "Fee, what are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, nothing, just hanging out with my
"Yeah,
family.
we weren't doing nothing."
Hanging out with my family." Yeah, but then when it was time to get up and do something,
Yeah, she didn't like that.
I was like, "Listen,
You
girl,
did your mom
like,
thing because I was about to come out and just start kicking people with banisters.
bye."
Sometimes violence isn't the way, but sometimes violence can get the point
You
across.
sound like my friend's oldest daughter with their little daughter. She was like, "If you just whoop her one good time, mom, I promise you, it'll get her. It'll get her right.
Some,
You
some
just need to just
sometimes some
let go of that pride and get
babe,
that baby one good
babe,
popping."
you
See,
just,
but
just
see the way my soul is set up. The way my soul is
I
set
love them.
up.
I really do like them. I don't like many people,
So
but I like them.
yes. So it was good. Like, yeah, everything was good. We had a chill, relax Labor Day weekend. I hope you guys had a fabulous Labor Day weekend.
I hope you didn't work on Labor
Um,
Day because that defeats the purpose.
well, some people like the time and a half. But yeah, we had a good Labor Day weekend. Spent 2 days in Palm Springs. It was very hot,
Very hot.
very hot. It was
It
like
was not classy.
it. It
It,
was not Demiria.
it was not Demurier.
It was not Demiria because it was the heat was not Demiria, but we had great company. We got to hang out with friends for two
We're
days.
good friends.
Uh-huh. The kids got to play. We were in the pool from like on Saturday. We were in the pool pretty much from early midday
I
to
just see now
end of the night.
you trigger me
Why?
because I still have an issue with my good buddy Anthony
Why?
trying to count calories
Oh my god.
while drinking alcohol. It does not go hand in
It
hand,
does.
sir. You
Shouts out to my boy Anthony. He was consistency is key. And when you reach your goal, we are gonna have a party. Okay? It's gonna be the biggest bash ever.
I kind of
Okay?
felt like I should try to set him up for sabotage.
Uh, that's not being a good friend.
That's
That's a hater.
that's what friends do.
It's a
That's what
hater.
good friends do.
No, it's a hater. It's a hater move. Anyway, Palm Springs was fun. Kid enjoyed herself. We were
Too
real
much.
with really great company. Yeah, so I can't really complain.
She enjoyed herself too much.
She really did enjoy herself, and I was happy to see her enjoy herself. You enjoyed yourself too. I saw you. I saw
The
you
second day.
enjoying yourself.
The second day.
Well, yeah, because the first day he didn't swim, but the second day, I mean, he really had no choice. It was either that or be baked chicken in the
Oh my!
sun.
It was 100.
So
I had you.
he
You
really had no
had
choice
to.
but to get into the pool because otherwise he would literally be baking like he's in an oven. That was,
I would have been in the car asleep.
yeah, you wouldn't have been in the car either because the car would have cut off after like 30 minutes, and you're not gonna sit there and waste gas.
I would have been in somebody's room.
So,
It was too hot.
So
It
yeah.
was not classy.
But yeah, so everything was fun. Everything was great. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend.
I personally don't care.
What?
I don't care
You don't care what?
if they enjoyed it or not.
Oh my gosh, you're such an asshole.
I mean, I mean, if they had a good time, that's great. But
Uh-huh.
I don't care because I didn't dictate it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, babe. Let's go ahead
I
and
mean, don't get me wrong. I love the listeners
mhm.
and I appreciate the support.
Mhm. You just don't care what they did for their
I,
weekend, huh?
I mean, as long as they didn't hurt nobody,
And as
just
long as no one got hurt.
as long as they were happy,
I guess that's all you can ask for,
long
right?
as long as long as they're happy.
Just as long as I'm with you. Oh, oh sorry.
Who's singing that song?
I we're gonna get right
Okay,
into it because
yeah.
I feel like you finna try to hurt my feelings, and I'm not
We
here
can't
for
hurt.
it.
We can't be touched.
Uh, Why do you think you're like coming off the cuff with stuff? You're not. You're not. Okay.
I folded my cuff a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna hop right into
Well,
we're just gonna hop right into the reaction that I have for you today. Okay, so let's get
oh, so
into
we're
this.
we're reacting to a video today.
Yeah, let's get into this.
Is it is it about marriage?
Is it about what?
Marriage?
It obviously
Is it
everything involves marriage and relationships.
is it about is
Are you confused as to what the podcast is
no, I'm
about
just
or
wondering, is it about balcony activities?
mm-mm.
Okay.
No, but I do want to get your reaction to something and I also want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Okay.
So, ready?
That's probably something wild.
It's typically a wife's response to her husband is a direct reflection of his leadership. It's a direct reflection of how he is loving her and honoring her and truly stewarding his marriage.
Okay. I agree.
What do you think about that?
I would agree with what he said.
Why do you agree?
Because you have to
Explain.
Umedime?
That you're not even saying the word right, so you really probably shouldn't even
Oh,
say
whatever.
it.
You know what I meant though. Um, I agree because you have to have a certain level of build up confidence that she has in you, right? That you've done the work and you've made good decisions and you not only made good decisions, you have set a good example of being mindful. Not only mindful in your decision making, but also mindful in the encompassing everyone's feelings and outcomes in the decisions that you make.
What do you mean?
Like what I mean by that is making decisions in which it has a positive impact on most of the household or both on you too, right?
Okay.
Pretty much making decisions even even if it's going to be a L for you, but it's a win for her type
A win
decision
for her or for the
for the
situation?
situation, right?
Okay.
So for that, right? And typically, in my experience, you are more willing to go by what I say because you have faith and trust in me that I am making the best decision for us
For
because
the
I
situation.
right because I have a history of doing good and doing right by you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have a history of pouring love and honor and loyalty into my relationship. So you expect those things to be encompassed in my decision.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not making decisions solely based on what's good for me, but I'm making decisions on what's good for the collective of the household.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what I mean by because sometimes I make decisions that hurt me, but it's better for the house. It hurt me,
Right.
but it's better for you
Mm-hmm.
and my child, who is my biggest op.
It's not
You know what I'm
your
saying? So and over the course of our time together, these 2.5 decades going on that we've been together, I have a certain amount of equity built up and faith and trust in you that I'm going to do the right thing because I believe a good portion of our time spent together, I have made the best decision. Even when the decision was the best decision at that time, it may not have been the best decision over the long run, but it worked out in the time, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe it came back later.
It was like a short-term solution.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So but I feel like you are more responsive of me and more catering towards me and listen to me more because you see how I have committed myself for the improvement of us as a unit and not
Mhm.
just myself as a singular entity.
Now, I want to ask you this because I know for myself personally, like, yes, everything that you said is true, and I do trust you, and I do trust your decision making. Um, what do you think is happening when you have a couple where the woman's response to his leadership isn't like she's not taking it, like she's not keen to it, or
Well,
she constantly has to question it. And I only say that because from my personal experience, depending on what the situation is, there has been times where I know that I have given you like not necessarily a pushback, but I've questioned.
oh
Like
yeah,
you
you've
will
been a
tell me,
woman.
yeah, like you will tell me, okay, this is the plan and this is what we're gonna do. And my intuition would be like, okay, hear your plan. I hear where you're going with
Uh huh.
this, but hear me out, and then it
Which,
creates more of a dialogue.
but I'm fine
So,
with that because you see things differently than I do.
right.
So sometimes you're interjecting data I didn't foresee.
Right. So, what would be your response to a woman where it's like that constantly? Or if you like how he says, if a woman's response is directly related to his leadership,
Hmm.
and you constantly have a woman who's constantly questioning you, who's constantly giving you pushback, who's constantly not on board with the direction you're trying to take,
Hmm.
the family or the direction you're trying to take the relationship, what would you say?
The first thing I would say is that she probably has an issue in your failed leadership because to this point in your relationship, she probably perceives your leadership to be one that has not have been successful, and that 9 times out of 10, I believe when a woman is in that state, it's because the man has said things, mentioned things, and has not followed through.
Yeah, I think it's more in the
It's
action.
it's more right. So
Yeah.
you have proven to be unreliable.
Right,
So,
correct. That's the point that I was getting at.
so and when a woman cannot depend on you to do what you say or to deliver the results that's needed,
Yeah,
then she's going to question because a part of her has to be concerned for herself and for her.
to make sure that she's
Right. Make
safe.
sure she's safe, make sure the children are safe. And if you have a track record of not following through,
Mhm,
not making the best decisions, not going down the right path, then yeah, then it's you're going to be questioned. And I know a lot of times as men, we don't like to be questioned, but then you also have to understand the situation that you're in. If you have this track record as a man, you know you have this track record.
mhm,
And the only way that you can really overcome something like that is by then reversing the scales and actually following through and actually making good decisions. You can't just have a one off where, well, this came right. Yeah, this one was right, but the 100 before that was wrong.
right.
So we can't negate the 100 before that just because number
You got
101,
one win.
because the 101 was
Mhm,
right, right? So when you have a situation where I feel like the leadership, there's been conflict between the leadership, it's because your leadership has not been up to par. And I also feel like a lot of people, especially men, don't understand the complete grasp of leadership. Right? Leadership is not just giving directions. Right? Leadership is also knowing when you need to be directed.
right,
Be
that's what I was gonna ask
right
you next.
because you can't always. I mean, to me,
You don't have all the
you don't have all
answers.
the answers. So to me, I think me particularly, I do a good job of trying to come to you and see what your opinion is, especially in areas where I know that you are far superior than I am. It's like this is not my realm. I don't know anything here, so I'm not going to go in here and make a blind decision and hope it works out. So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to do research. I'm going to look up things. And so that's part of being a leader. Being a leader is you have to know where you fall short and where the strengths of everybody is. Because
Yeah,
being a leader is not about making decisions. But being a leader is about pulling all the resources
and
and
utilizing them to your best benefit.
utilizing them and making a think tank decision that best helps everyone.
Right.
That's the part of leadership. But then also when it comes to leadership in marriage, it's also about following through. It's about showing up day in and day out with great and not good intentions, but great intentions
Mhm,
for the family. It's about providing to the best of your ability. And even if you can't provide 100% today, you're working towards a situation to where you can be that.
right.
So you have to constantly be working towards being a symbol of leadership and grow your, I won't say necessarily grow your reach, but grow your responsibility, because if the leadership role carries the most amount of responsibility because everyone is looking towards you.
Yeah, I
So
think because you're like the point
right.
person,
So
right?
even if you're delegating these tasks, in which leaders do, you're still responsible for knowing a little bit about each task, because you, as a leader, you have to check in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You
because you're still responsible for the
right.
overall outcome.
And
So
that
you can delegate all
right.
you want to.
Right. So I can say, hey babe, make sure so and so whatever gets done.
Mhm.
Right. And I can walk away. But I still, as a leader, I still need to double back, whether it be a day, maybe a couple of days,
Just
and
to
say,
ensure that it got
"Hey,
done.
you know what I'm saying?" Because at the end of the day, if something falls short,
It's
even
still
if
on you.
I delegated it to you,
Yeah,
it's still on me
yeah,
because I'm a leader.
yeah.
And a lot of times, I feel people want the mantle of leadership without the responsibility of leadership.
Well, yeah,
And it's the same thing as being a provider. You want the mantle without the responsibility.
yeah,
And I always said, like, there's and when it comes to being a provider, when it comes to being a leader, there's so many different avenues and areas in which people don't talk about. Being a provider is not just financial. Being a leader is not just making decisions.
right.
There's other
All
caveats.
those little nuances
The,
on the day-to-day and everyday
right.
life that go into
There's
it.
other things that are really more important than making the final decision or putting the money on the table,
Right.
right? Because you have to, in both instances, in both roles, you have to provide a environment
Mhm,
where everyone can be nourished.
mhm.
And that's the only way you can have an ecosystem inside your home, inside your marriage,
Right,
that can actually be fruitful.
right. So, what do you think about, like, okay, so you mentioned having being a leader is also being a good delegator and also knowing when it's a situation that you're not necessarily strong in to lead. I would say, what about really strong-willed women who are quote unquote natural leaders? And what I mean by that, I mean women who like to take charge, women
Uh-huh.
who like to be the decision makers, women who have done best being decision makers, especially if you go from being single and
Mhm.
you managing every aspect of your life. And if you have children, right? You're the provider, the protector, the leader, everything, the
Mhm.
shot caller. Then you get into a relationship, then you get married. And now you're in a situation where you have years and decades of you being the person in charge, you making the decisions, you're the one who's the point person. The kids always come to you, and now having to come into a relationship with somebody and either coexist in that or try to relinquish the reins a little bit to depend somewhat on someone.
Um, to that, I would say that it's my personal belief that no matter how strong-willed a woman is,
Mhm.
when she meets her counterpart, she'll fall back.
She want to let that shit go.
She'll
She want to let it
you
go.
c you can wait to say that, huh?
She wanna let it go. If you want here's this
Right?
if you want this suitcase, sir, you can have it.
You know, I believe that is a situation to once she's comfortable enough
Uh-huh.
with the
And
counterpart.
feels secured and
Right,
taken care of,
right.
and yeah.
And I think also, I feel like in those structures, because I believe we have that structure. In those structure is it's more of a benefit to the man, because I know for me personally, I can say, hey, when I'm slipping, I know I have someone who can pick me up
Mhm.
and get me back to the situation, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm ever and if I ever get into a situation to where I'm just making all the wrong decisions,
Mhm.
right? And I know I have someone in my corner to say, hey,
And besides, we're gonna put the brakes on this a little
right,
bit.
let
Mhm.
you'll say, let's approach this from a different angle, right?
Mhm.
And you'll ring me back in. Because oftentimes, I'm a man like every other man, and I go through the feels of my machismo, and
And your ego
my ego,
and your pride.
and I'm thinking that, hey,
Don't
I
forget the pride.
in the pride, and I'm
Put
thinking
it all out
and I'm
there.
thinking, hey, I'm pouring all of my thoughts, because I am by nature overthinker.
Right.
I overthink even after the decision has been made.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking. So I know that oftentimes I'm my own worst enemy, because I've thought about something 100 ways to Sunday, and I've made a decision, and now I can find out something after the decision is made,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
now I'm questioning every
Or
thought
I come
process,
in and I interject something.
and now I'm questioning every thought
Right.
process, right? But I have faith in your decision making, and a lot of times is why I think I am pretty good at bouncing things off of you, and I try to explain my stance, and and then you input, and then that has me twirling and thinking. And a lot of times, there's been situations to where I've been so hyped up about things and just so stressed, and that I can't see something, and then you will mention something to me, and it kind of calms me down and it
Yeah.
grounds me
Right.
to the point to where now I can make a better,
Yeah.
a better decision because I'm now in a state of, I don't want to say peace, but I'm in a better
Yeah.
state mentally.
Yeah, because it when you're going through that process, it's about breaking that chain of thought for a second, right? So it's like if you're overthinking something, if you're really stressed out about a decision, like the first thing I always say is like, babe, we gonna be okay. Like everything is going to be fine. You have to understand that you will get through it. You will get over we will get over the hump. So I think for me, when I try to come in and I balance that, like when you're in your office and you're stressing out and you're like going over stuff and you're like, okay, how's this gonna fit? How's this gonna work? I'm like, first, let's step back from the computer because computer's stressing us out. And just know that we are gonna be okay. Let's talk about something else. Let's do something else for this short period of time. But I have a firm belief, like, just like everything in our past, like, you're going to get through it. We're just not on the other side of it yet. But
Mhm.
I know for sure there is an other side. You know what I'm saying? So I think that also helps when I'm navigating or trying to come up with a solution about something. I do know one thing I know for certain is that there's another side to it.
Mhm.
We're just like we're literally in the process, and it's the process itself that can stress you out. But if you know and you go into something like, okay, there's another side to this. I know that there's on the other side of this, everything is like cool. We're out. We're smooth sailing. We just got to find the solution process
Right.
through the process right now, and then that's where I can come in and be like, hey, have you thought about doing this? Or hey, maybe we can do this, and then it kind of brings you back down, and it's like
I know
okay.
one thing you do particularly well, and I don't like giving you flowers
Oh,
because your head get big, because
wow.
your head get too big. But
Wow.
one thing
You
you do,
heard it from the horse's mouth.
well, I gotta be a horse donkey.
She
Um, one thing you do,
I don't like
that was a Shrek
I
reference.
don't like you. Love you.
Ah.
Don't like you.
One thing you do really well is that you walk in, you say, "Okay, babe, what can we control now?"
Yeah, that's it.
Like, but don't worry about what could happen. What can we can do
Yeah.
to control what the problems are
Yeah.
today? So
Because
like,
if we start thinking about all the possibility,
right,
like this could happen if we don't do this or this, listen, things are going to happen
right, right.
regardless.
But
So let's just control the controllables, people.
but for someone like me who is an overthinker,
And I get it.
and I need a plan for the plan and a backup plan for the
I get it.
plan
I get it.
and two more backup plans in case those plans
Yeah.
don't go.
I
And then
know.
I need contingencies plans for if any leg falls off the train
I know.
or wheel, whatever,
And you
as
know
for
what they
emotion.
say, when you make a plan, God laughs.
Oh, well, he been laughing at me a lot.
He has been on a roll.
But it's in me.
No, I
It's who I am to have a plan and
right.
contingencies.
And I like a plan too, and I think that's one of the reasons, like, I love you, you know, because you always do make a plan. However, sometimes you have to make a plan solely based on the tools you have at hand.
Mm.
The tools that you can tangibly use, that you tangibly have, or that you could work out or, work around. That's where the planning can come in. You can make a plan. Your planning and my planning are
Oh, they're
oh, they're
different.
so
They're
different.
different.
They are so different.
Mine is based in reason
Okay,
and
here we go.
factual
Here we go. Here we go. It's based
factual
it's
facts.
based in reason and facts.
Mine plan
Mhm.
doesn't have any
Until
to
your ego and pride
my plan
creates a
doesn't
huge
have any
roadblock for you.
my plan does not have any intuition, any women's vision,
I know.
none of that
I
stuff.
know. And
My plans are
And
based on
how
what's in
blessed you
front of
are.
me.
How blessed you are that I have come into your life. How blessed you are.
You did not come into my life. I
You found me?
no, I interjected myself into yours.
No, you bulldozed your way into mine.
I saw it. I like you,
I liked you
and I want
and I want you. We could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way.
and I'm just happy you chose the easy way.
Did I
You
though?
did.
Did
You
I?
did.
It wasn't easy.
It was easy. You were
Good
easy.
damn bye,
I
DeMille.
mean, you wasn't loosey goosey.
Okay.
Maybe loosey
Anyway,
ducky.
back got ran off on a tangent.
Maybe loosey moosey. Not loosey goosey. You don't want to go on a tangent.
I didn't get on a tangent, but
I'm just
whatever.
saying, my wife, and I understand that I am blessed. Has done.
You just say it like you believed it.
I do believe it. She does a good job of grounding me when situations get me outside of my character when
Yeah.
it comes to making decisions in leadership. And you have done a great job of being my voice of reason. Now, to go back to what you asked me, I do feel like these women who have, been powerful women, they've made moves, they've moved up the ladder, they've made great lives for themselves. I do feel like once they find someone they trust, they will ease back off that. But I also feel like if they ever get in a situation to where their their partner's leadership is not up to their standards,
Mhm.
they will stand up and rise to the occasion and do the
Of
job
course.
because that's where the whole "I can do bad by myself" mentality
Mhm.
comes from, right?
Mhm.
So it is important as a man, as a leader, um, to ensure that you are in the right headspace. Just make sure to ensure that you are making the proper decisions for the collective and not just yourself. And because that part of that is adding to the security that she feels,
Mhm.
not only for herself, but for the household and for the situation, for the relationship and marriage in general.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as if she would just like bulldoze over you if you're making the proper
I
decisions.
mean, she would bulldoze over you if you're the type of man that can be bulldozed over.
True. True. And
Like
also I feel like and also I know with women like that, it's not that they're not willing to let you make a decision. They just want
you need to prove that you can be a good decision maker and that you should be somebody that I can follow and depend on.
but they also want to give you their input. You have to have a space in
Yeah,
which they can give you their input
right.
so that there's a dialogue being because some people want to feel like they were included in the decision. So let
Mhm.
the like a lot of times I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times we have conversations and I hear you out and I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but we're doing this. Like, like,
I heard what you said, and now that you got that off your
like
chest,
we're doing
we're
this.
not gonna implement that.
We're
We're
doing
still doing
we're
this.
still doing this. But there are times where I hear what you say, and I'm like, you know what, that makes way more sense. It makes more sense with what I have planned. This is what we're
Mhm.
gonna go with. And that's another part of being a leader. Being a leader is to understand that sometimes I don't have all the answers.
No,
And
you don't.
sometimes my answer is not the best answer because someone has a better insight into the problem or the situation.
Right.
So a lot of times being a leader, the best part and the hardest part about being a leader is understanding when and how to just fall back. Sometimes you have to fall back and let the decision be made by somebody who is more qualified to make the decision. And just because you're not qualified to make that decision doesn't mean you're a leader. It means that this is a part of leadership in which you have to dictate and distribute the responsibility to someone who was better suited to make a decision based on the factors that are in play.
Very well said, babe. Very well said. High five.
I'm not getting you a high five.
Okay. This left me hanging.
I did.
It's fine.
I'll leave you hanging above the table, but I got you below.
Okay, I'm not doing that with you either. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not doing this with you either. Okay, well said, babe. Good discussion. Thanks.
Good discussion thing.
Thanks. So we're gonna go ahead and move along right into one of my favorite segments.
Which is what?
Our two
Oh,
cents.
okay. You got 5 cents or 4?
I got 4 cents.
All right. Is it good? Is it? Have you read this one? Or is this blind to you?
Oh no, I read this one.
Is it
I
good?
read this one. I mean, it got me a little upset, so I want to hear
All right.
your.
Let's get it.
Okay, okay. So here we go. Ex-husband opened a credit card in my name after we got divorced. I owe $4,000, and he's threatening to fight for more child support if I turn him in. Okay.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I filed for a divorce from my ex-husband almost 2 years ago, and we came to an agreement for property, spousal maintenance, and child support pretty quickly. He's never been able to really hold down a job very well, and last I knew, he was working at a restaurant. I got the house along with a lot of our debt, in the divorce, and I'm planning on moving closer to work, about 30 miles away. When I went to get pre approved for a new mortgage, I learned that my credit score was 605 when the last I knew about it a year ago, it was 800. When I looked further into it, there was a credit card on my account which was opened the last time my ex messaged me asking for more spousal maintenance. Those payments ended in October, finally, but he agreed to take a decently less child support long term for more spousal maintenance. Now, when I looked into it, it appears he opened a Chase credit card in April, which is over the credit limit and 3 months past due. It has his address and the account has his phone number on it. He obviously has my social security number from when we were married. I called Chase and they at first said that this was a civil issue and that I'd have to work it out in court. When I asked for them to give it to me in writing, they refused. I messaged my ex on Saturday and he called me instead and he told me that he needed the card for more expenses since I wouldn't give him more spousal maintenance even though we had already agreed to everything during the divorce process. He said if I went to the police, he'd take me back to court for more child support, which I would be on the hook for more than a decade. It's $4,000 now or so, according to some real quick calculations, 30,000 over the past 12 years. I'm leaning towards turning him in, but from what I gather, the criminal case would have no bearing on the child support, which he would have a decent chance of winning. I'm sort of stuck here. What should I do?
You turn his ass in
Turn his ass in.
because you
Turn his ass in. First of
hold
all,
on, hold
he
on.
committed fraud. He used
Right.
your social security number.
Hold on, babe. I'm sitting here thinking like you got the answer to your problem because if you turn him in, you got to take the kids because he in jail. In jail for
You
fraud.
committed fraud, boo.
So you turn him in, you get that 4,000 off of you, then you say to your child, now you gotta be a mom. I
Goodbye.
don't know if you want to do that or not, but
Goodbye.
you gotta be a
Goodbye.
you gotta be a mom.
Goodbye.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to jail for fraud.
Yeah.
He a
But
criminal.
she said he's always had an issue holding a job down.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the hook for their debt. She had to pay him spousal maintenance
Mm-hmm.
and pays him child support.
Mm-hmm.
And this cat turned around and said that he went and opened the credit card because she refused to give him more money
It
to
sounds
maintain
like
his lifestyle. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that homeboy not even working and he's trying to survive off of child support and spousal maintenance.
true. It sounds like he tried to Kevin Federline her.
Kevin Featherline, how?
You know how he got the kids from Brittany and he was set up for life?
That
He-
is not the same thing.
hold on. Kevin
And there was a lot behind the scenes that was happening. Like
Okay.
she was being done real dirty.
Okay, she was, but Kevin Federline tells dads out here he's a hero.
Okay, bye Maurice.
'Cause he
He's
beat
not a
the sy-
hero.
he
He
beat the
really is
system.
not.
Okay, to you.
Okay.
So,
I'm
but
not doing this with you.
what I would say, ma'am, sir, ma'am,
Sir, ma'am, sir. Take his ass to court.
turns that
Sue him.
Yeah.
Yeah, take him to court. Sue him. And based on when the credit card application was filed, I
Mhm.
would also get something from Chase saying, were you under the impression I was the person that
Because
was applying for this credit?
here's
Because
the
I was
thing.
not.
Here's the thing.
And we were already divorced when he
Here's
applied
the
for this
thing.
credit
See,
card.
you're thinking it's just fraud. There's also perjury in there
Because he signed a
he had to
document.
sign her name.
Yes.
So he's going to get time.
Yes.
And when he gets the time, you don't have to pay for that card, nor do you have to pay this child support, but you gonna have them kids.
So the thing is she said ex-husband and she said she filed for divorce, but she didn't necessarily mean that it was final. So we're just assuming that it was
If she's
final.
paying child
Oh
support,
yeah,
it
you're
has to be
right.
fine.
And she's paying spousal maintenance. So it was
spousal support.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
call it what you want to call it. She's paying alimony.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to call it.
It's alimony.
Yeah.
You know, so
And then
again,
if she can get him saying that in a text message,
well, that's why
saying-
he called her. He's smart.
and I just caught on to that because she said she messaged him
And he called
and
her.
he said, and she
I'm
said that
not
he
finna
ended up,
incriminate myself because you can use this in court.
but she can also record the calling.
That's illegal. In most
Oh,
states.
to record people without their knowledge.
Yes, ma'am. It's illegal.
But here's the whole thing. The whole thing is he applied for the credit card. He used the credit card. Okay,
Maxed it
so
out.
now
It was
this
only
is
$4,000.
so now I'm wondering, did he? But it's over the limit and it's 3 months past due.
He ain't even paying it. It's over.
He used it and
It's
didn't
over
pay it.
limit because they keep hitting him with interest.
And then we don't know what type of credit card it was. There could be an annual fee on it. So I'm wondering, did he get the credit card and then call and make himself an authorized user? Because if they issued the credit card it should have her name on it.
Yes.
And when you go to use the credit card, they ask for ID. So was he just saying like, oh, it's
when
my
he
wife's
got the
card?
credit card,
Or
he probably added himself
as
that
an
day.
authorized user and got a card with his name on it.
That day.
And got a card with his name on it.
That day.
Okay, so then you could go back. Hold on. You could go back, right? And if there's no charges on her card that has her name on it, I never used the card. Only the authorized user.
You've never
used
seen
the
me use the
card.
card in person. There's a possibility
He could use it online.
But then you could track IP address and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sue him. Take him to court. I mean, for me, just the fact that you got the credit card after you guys were divorced, and the fact that if she had an 800, that means she has a great history of paying her bills and paying her bills on time, right? So you can look at all of my other credit activity, all my other credit cards. You mean to tell me that this is a $4,000 limit? It's not even a high limit. So assuming that she has other credit cards, you mean to tell me all my other credit cards are in the green, but this is the one credit card I chose not to pay for 3 months?
Right.
Make it make sense, Way. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Sue him. Sue him. Get your children. Stop paying him.
Not your children.
Stop paying him and move on. Move on, Rebecca. Move on. I don't know if that's her name. She just feels.
Just made up.
Rebecca is in my spirit for her. So just move on.
Spirit.
Just move on, Rebecca. Move on, Becky. Okay.
Oh Lord, not Becky.
Just move on. Sue him and move on.
Not Becky.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of Life After I Do. If you're not doing so already, you already know what to do. You can go check us out on all of our social media platforms.
All of them.
All the usual suspects: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't know why, but MySpace just popped in my head. We do not have a MySpace. I was just about to say it though. I don't know. It literally, when I said Facebook, it literally popped in my head.
Time to trade her in
But
for
literally,
a newer motto.
All of the usual suspects, guys. Follow us on all of our platforms. Don't forget, you can also write into us at lifeafteridopodcast@gmail.com. And you can also send us a text, guys. Wherever you listen to your podcast, shoot us a text. If there's any videos that you want to get our advice on, if you have any questions you want to ask the pod that you want us to answer,
let me just say this. Look,
shoot us a message.
You guys have a better shot of emailing us than DMing us, because we're not going to respond to these DMs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that, yeah, because we had quite a few DMs.
We don't trust people. So
yeah, if you want to send a video or anything like that, it would be best to send it in email. But in any case, we still are looking at the messages. Okay, guys,
we're just not responding.
Not to all of them. We don't respond to all of them. But yes, and don't forget, you get a new episode every single Wednesday. So tune in, like, and share. Tell everybody.
Before we say peace, I want to say.
What do you want to say?
I know what you did, Mama.
What?
My mother. I'm not going to say her government name. Well,
okay.
But I know what you did.
He knows what you did, Mom.
I know what you did.
Okay.
And yes, I'm talking about you again.
Okay.
On another episode.
All right.
So listen to this, and I'm still going to talk about you. And I might talk about you next week because you don't like when people talk about you.
Okay.
So do something that don't get you talked about, and you want to be talked about.
Follow us on all of our social media platforms, guys. Message, like, share,
comment.
All of the above. Comment.
Don't forget the OnlyPans.
Keep the follows coming in, guys.
Don't forget the OnlyPans.
Next time.
Peace, Booskies.
Peace.